Good morning, everyone. My name is Tarek Ahmed,
And I'm Cavi.
and in this video, we are going to be addressing the use of long take in the movie Oldboy, directed by Park Chan Wook. This scene that we're going to be focusing on today is a fight scene. As the main character, Dae-soo, is trying to escape the building in which he was kept captive in the beginning of the movie. But before we dive into the scene itself, I would like to give a brief definition of what long take means. It's quite literal to its name, so it's considered to be a continuous shot without any cuts or stoppages. And although uh, long takes may seem intriguing, they're not in any way easy to execute, as perfection by cast and crew members would be in high demand. Uh, Apart from that, a long take isn't always just a long take for no reason. Directors always have a reason for going through that process of having one in a movie.
Oldboy is a Korean film, as Tariq mentioned, directed by film director Park Chan Wook. The film was adapted from a Japanese manga known as Oldboy using the same name, and is the second film in a trilogy known as the Vengeance Trilogy. The film revolves around a drunk man named Dae-soo who is thrown into a cellar after being bailed out from jail by a friend. For 15 years, with no outside contact or anything, he finally escapes and has to now find the man who threw him into jail. The director Park Chan Wook is well known in his country as one of the leading directors because he is a world-renowned one. At the Cannes Film Festival, Quentin Tarantino claimed that Oldboy was an amazing film and was said to be a fan of Chan Wook's work.
Now, in this scene that we chose to talk about, in particular, I believe that the director decided to use long take to show the intensity of the moment and the predicament Daisu was in, as he was outnumbered. Uh, I believe that the director made sure that the audience did not miss a single interaction between Daisu and his enemies, as he placed the camera in an angle where you would see the different ways and positions in which Daisu was being attacked, even if he couldn't see it. Like the audience could see it before he could even tell. Uh, so in the beginning, you can see that Daisu was struggling a little bit, and then afterwards, you begin to see his fighting ability as he takes them all on. And I believe that this scene wouldn't have made such an impact if it had cuts, as you wouldn't be able to see the fight from beginning to the end from one angle that would not make you lose any attention, no cuts, any of that. So, uh, because if it had a bunch of cuts, then you would have been concentrating on other things rather than the true purpose of the scene, which is the fighting. So,
So the moment everyone looks back and it cuts from him running to the wide angle shot, you can tell it's almost like a video game, like a side scrolling video game where you're able to tell where the enemies are and which way they're gonna attack, like Tariq mentioned. There's also the fact that the lighting is very ambiance, it's pretty dark, chilling. It adds to the effect that's giving a more intense edge of the seat type action scene that you're witnessing at the screen. Like the only lighting you're pretty much getting from this film is at the ceiling, from the ceiling, I mean. There's also the fact that the amount of practice that the actors had to put into getting this long take done is not like what your typical action films would be like because of the fact that this is like a one take thing, so the practice has to be all perfected. The everyone has to be coordinated perfectly. Not one person can lag. Even if one person lagged, there could be an offsetting to the entire clip. Um, Whereas in a regular action scene, there's a lot of cuttings, cut and clips, like cut clips where scene cutting, where you can get someone to say something and then when right as soon as they're about to punch, it cuts, it goes to in a different angle and you see the punching happen like that. Whereas in this type of setting, you're seeing everything in like one view. It's just side from a wide angle side scrolling view is what you're witnessing the entire scene from. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Have a good day.